Your dog looked at you this morning and saw something you cannot see, hear, or smell. They read you in ways that have nothing to do with your face, your voice, or anything you consciously put out into the world. And you have been completely unaware it was happening. There are 5 things your dog perceives about you right now, at this exact moment, that most owners will never know exist. Number 1 will change the way you think about every room you have ever walked into together. Number 5 might surprise you most. Let's begin. Welcome to PAW'S Mind. If you are new here, subscribe right now because this channel is where we go deep into what your dog actually knows, senses, and understands about you. Dogs do not experience you the way another human does. They experience you through a completely different set of biological instruments. 5 of those instruments are working on you right now. And the last one on this list is the one that will stay with you the longest. Your emotional state has a chemical signature, and your dog reads it like a document. Why does your dog sometimes come to you before you have said a word or made a single gesture? Most owners assume their dog is responding to their facial expression, their posture, the way they are sitting. Those things are part of it. But the full answer runs much deeper than anything your dog can see. Here is what is actually happening. When you experience a significant emotion, your body chemistry shifts. Fear triggers an adrenaline release that alters your sweat composition at the hormonal level. Sadness produces a different cortisol profile than contentment. Anxiety carries a measurably different chemical signature than calm. These changes are invisible to every human in the room. They are not invisible to your dog. Research published in PAW'S 1 confirmed that dogs can detect human emotional states through body odor alone, with no visual or auditory cues present. Dogs exposed to sweat samples collected during fear and happiness responded with measurably different behaviors. Fear samples triggered more stress-associated behaviors and more orientation toward the owner. Happiness samples produced more relaxed, affiliative responses. Your dog is not guessing how you feel. They are reading a chemical document your body writes in real time and has no ability to edit. This is why your dog sometimes settles quietly next to you on a hard day before you have said a single word about it. The room already told them. You already told them. You just did not know you were speaking. But that is only the beginning of how they read you. The next one goes deeper into the biological instruments they are using, and it works at a distance that will change how you think about your dog's awareness. Your heartbeat is information your dog processes from across the room. Why do dogs sometimes approach you and press against your body for no apparent reason? Most owners think the dog wants attention or warmth or comfort. Sometimes that is true. But there is another layer that most owners never discover. Your dog can hear your heartbeat from a distance. The average resting human heart produces low-frequency vibrations in the range of approximately 0.5 to 2 Hz. Your dog's hearing range extends into frequency bands far below and above the human range, and their sensitivity to subtle sound pressure, the kind produced by biological tissue rather than speakers, is significantly more acute than ours. When your heart rate changes, your dog notices. A spiking heart rate produces a different rhythm. An elevated cortisol state changes both the rate and the variability in ways that are acoustically distinct at close range. Animal behaviorists studying proximity-seeking behavior in dogs have observed that dogs in close contact with their bonded humans show elevated orienting behavior, listening postures, and stillness consistent with active processing when the owner's heart rate is elevated, even when the owner shows no outward behavioral signs of distress. Your dog is not just lying next to you. They are listening to you. They know your resting rhythm. The rhythm of a normal Tuesday. The rhythm of rest. And the moment that rhythm changes, even subtly, something in them shifts too. And before we continue, remember what I promised at the start. Number 1 is still coming. And it is the one that will change what you think you understand about how deeply your dog knows you. Your dog knows your body's rhythms better than you know them yourself. Why does your dog seem to anticipate your schedule before you have made any visible move to execute it? You have seen it. You think about going for a walk and your dog is already at the door. You wake up slightly before your alarm and your dog is already awake, watching you. You are about to stand up and your dog is already adjusting their position. Most owners chalk this up to coincidence or routine. The truth is more specific than routine and more sophisticated than coincidence. Dogs are extraordinarily precise pattern detectors for biological signals. Your circadian rhythms, your breathing rate patterns across the day, the microchanges in muscle tension that precede intentional movement, your hormonal cycles including the cortisol peak that precedes waking, all of these produce measurable physiological signatures. Research from the University of Veterinary Medicine Vienna found that dogs demonstrate what scientists call anticipatory behavior for their owner's return that begins substantially before the owner reaches the vicinity of the home, suggesting the dog is tracking some internal signal, not merely external acoustic cues. Your dog has been calibrating to your biological schedule since the day they came home. They know when your body is preparing to wake before your conscious mind does. They know the difference between the muscle relaxation of deep sleep and the subtle pre-waking tension that signals the day is about to begin. You are not just a person to your dog. You are a pattern they have memorized at the level of your biology. Stay with me because the next one changes how you think about every photograph you have ever taken with your dog. Your dog perceives a version of your face that no other human can access. Why does your dog sometimes tilt their head and stare at you at moments when nothing obvious is happening? Most owners interpret this as curiosity or attentiveness to sound. Both of those are real components. But there is a third layer that is not about sound at all. Dogs see the world with different photoreceptor distribution than humans. Their color range is compressed, but their motion detection and their sensitivity to low-light visual contrast is substantially higher than ours. More importantly, dogs possess a reflective layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum that effectively doubles the light available to their visual system. In low-light conditions, your dog can see your facial expressions with a resolution you cannot achieve without that same equipment. But here is what makes this genuinely remarkable. A study from the University of Lincoln found that dogs demonstrate a left gaze bias when looking at human faces, meaning they specifically orient toward the right side of a human face, which is the side of the face most governed by the right hemisphere of the brain and the side that most directly displays emotional expression. Dogs have evolved to read the specific part of your face that carries the most honest emotional information. Your dog looks at a version of you that is calibrated for reading what you actually feel, not what you choose to display. In a dimly lit room on a quiet evening, your dog is reading your face with more precision than another human sitting next to you. You do not wear a neutral expression around your dog. There is no neutral expression. They see the real one, the one underneath. We are almost at number one. And I want you to stay because what comes next is not about instruments or biology. It is about something your dog perceives about you that no sensor can measure. And it is the thing that changes everything. The emotional peak. Your dog perceives your significance, not your role, not your function. You. Why does your dog sometimes stop what they are doing and simply look at you from across the room? For no reason, in the middle of an ordinary day. There is no obvious trigger. No food. No leash. No sound. You are just doing whatever you are doing. And your dog pauses, turns, and looks at you. Behavioral researchers studying social attachment in dogs have documented what they describe as a monitoring gaze, a voluntary, non-solicited visual orientation toward the bonded human that occurs in relaxed, low-demand contexts. It is not attention-seeking behavior. It is not learned anticipation. It is something that has no functional explanation. Something that in any other species we would simply call watching the person you love because they are there. Here is what science has confirmed and what the data points toward, even in the careful language of research papers. Dogs form attachment bonds with their primary humans that are structurally and neurochemically analogous to the bonds formed between infants and caregivers. The same oxytocin systems. The same proximity-seeking behaviors under threat. The same preferential orientation toward the attachment figure over all other stimuli. The same monitoring gaze that a child directs at a parent, not because they need something, but because the parent is the center of their felt world. Your dog does not perceive you as a food source. They do not perceive you as a shelter provider or a leash holder or a routine anchor, though you are all of those things. They perceive you as the thing that makes the environment safe to exist in. The presence that tells their nervous system, this is where we are, This is where we stay, this is where everything is going to be alright. Every instrument their body has, their nose tracking your chemistry, their ears calibrated to your heartbeat, their eyes tuned to the expressive side of your face. All of it is oriented toward one purpose. Not survival, not prediction, not anticipation. You. The 5 ways your dog perceives you that have nothing to do with being human are all, in the end, doing the same thing. They are your dog knowing you more completely than any other creature on earth. More precisely than another human. More honestly than a mirror. So the next time your dog stops what they are doing and looks at you from across a quiet room, know what you are actually witnessing. You are not being checked on. You are not being evaluated. You are being seen. Completely, chemically, rhythmically, biologically, and beyond all of that, in the way that cannot be measured. The way that belongs only to the two of you. That look from across the room is not random. It is your dog confirming the only thing that matters to them. That you are still there. And that being there with you is enough. You now understand something most dog owners will never think to ask. Your dog experiences you through instruments that have no human equivalent. And every single one of them is pointed at you with precision, and with something that in every way that matters resembles devotion. Share this with someone whose dog watches them from across the room and has never known why. Subscribe to PAW'S Mind. We go deep on dog behavior and the bond between dogs and the humans they choose, every single week. And if your dog has ever seemed to know something was wrong before you did, before a single word was spoken, there is a reason that goes deeper than instinct. That video is next.